Hi guys! Awesome riding weather today, if I only had the studded tires. But in the previous videos, we decided to start riding. We've been talking about which bike to use, and today I thought I'd gear up. What to wear. And in weather like this, I would use mostly the same things I use summertime, with a few adaptations. So, smart and cheap. Let's get inside and get cozy. So, welcome to my walk-in closet. And today we're going to look at adventure riding gear. And I'm just telling you how I've been doing it, my story, highly subjective. But when we start riding, there's so much we want to get and so on. And economy is part of the equation, of course. So, and there are mainly two styles of gearing up. Regardless, you want to stay protected from impact and accidents and stuff like that, of course, but also protected from the elements, weather, cold, warm, and all of that. And being an adventure rider, you also want to bring as little gear as possible. So if the outfit that you're having can be used off the bike also, that's a plus. So let's start talking about protection, because of course that's something we need to consider. And I looked at some statistics, and there are two types of statistics here. One for road riders and one for off-road riders. And as adventure riders, we're sort of in between. When it comes to road riders, the most frequent injury is road rash. That's falling off the bike, sliding on the asphalt, and injuring your skin, I guess. And number two is broken bones and dislocations. Number three was legs and feet. And then we have head and neck injuries. So road rash was number one. But looking at off-road riders and mainly enduro riders, the number one injury is fractures and displacements, mainly on the upper body, just slightly above 50%, and just slightly below 50% was lower body fractures and displacements. And below that, I think 9% or something like that, was head injuries, mainly in the form of concussions. So how can we be protected here? And the number one road injury, road rash, of course, we need to make sure that what we put on is abrasion resistant. So that's number one, what I look for, of course. Then we have the number two in both scenarios, which are fractures and displacements, and also pure impact injuries, broken ribs and internal organs and stuff like that. And that is very hard to protect yourself against. If you're riding your bike, you slam into a tree or whatever, doesn't matter. So it goes without saying that the number one protection is, of course, to have your head screwed on and do not ride over your limits. I've managed to stay pretty much injury-free. I had one incident that got me injured, and that was riding too early in the season with icy ruts, and I slipped. And that was a dislocation of my shoulder. I fell on my armpit, so to speak. And there's no real armor that can protect you from that. So the armor that we wear, I'd like to stay protected, of course, on my feet and my helmet. Those are very important to be protected. We need the helmet, of course, for any head impact, the most sensitive part. Feet, I like to be really protected on my feet. We'll get to the boot selection soon. And then we have just the small armor stuff here that will protect us from impacts on elbows, shoulders, back, and so on. And you can, of course, get the most protective gear out there. But in reality, I choose to be comfortable and have a level of security and try to use my head as much as possible not to get injured. Something that's coming quite a lot are the air vests, and they have a real good history of protecting injuries, especially from what I mentioned, the high speed impact injuries from internal organs and ribs, and so the air vest is a good option there. I have not yet tried that. So, good or not, I'll just go through how I think and what I wear when I'm riding. And also, there's two ways to go here. One is to get the classic motorcycle suit. Jacket and pants, everything included. You have an outer layer with all the armor built in. Yeah, everything in one suit. But I find that very limited because you need that big jacket on you at all times in all the different weather, sun, rain, cold, hot, warm, and all of that. And I find that restricting, and also they are quite expensive and you cannot alternate that much, and you're stuck with that suit for a couple of years. So what I started with and been using ever since is to get the armor jacket as number one. This is the Nox Urban Pro jacket, and it has AA abrasion resistance. So now this is protecting me from the road rash, and it's also mesh, so now I can have any cheap old top over here that I like. I usually, if it's really hot, this is what I wear with the t-shirt underneath, because your nipples will show otherwise. And so yeah, hot weather, this is what I use. Then just add a little wind protection perhaps. I can put just a MX jersey on top, like this, and a little bit warmer, Swedish summer, really nice. And for rain protection, I just got from the sporting goods department just a rain jacket for 40 euros. So my philosophy is to spend the money closest to your body with protection. There's also protected pants, which I don't have, which are also abrasion resistant, but yeah, we'll get to that. But using this, I can just take any old wind jacket. Niklas, you forgot this in my garage last time. I'll use it. So whatever you want to put on top over here, that's good. It also lacks, in my configuration at least, the chest protection, because yeah, hitting stuff, you will possibly get punched in your chest. And there's an option in the Nox to get the chest protection. This is used enough now, so I will get a new armor jacket. I will try something just to try other things. I will try Adventure Spec Super Shirt. My friend Matthias wears by that. So yeah, I'll try that. Okay, let's strip down. I'm doing this for you guys. Not that you like it, but being over 40 also means that you have no shame. So let's look at protection for your knees. I have two types of protection, a Sherbis, Leat. I use these larger, more armor-like knee protectors. All right, yeah, so I can't believe I'm doing this video. So this is what I use when I know there will be a lot of off-road and stuff like that. Really protective all the way down. These go into the boots, so yeah, the lower legs are protected and so on. So really, really good stuff. And for longer adventures, a little less off-roady, I use these. I was planning to have a base layer here just to stay decent, but I forgot those. And yeah, so these are softer and yeah, just more comfortable to wear. They don't protect you as much down here, but it's just a few centimeters. And if I have a base layer, which I would normally, unless it's really, really hot, I have the protection on top of the base layer. And when it comes to pants, I think a little bit different than on the top, because on the top, it's quite easy to just take things on and off. With the pants, it's quite cumbersome with boots and yeah, changing stuff and so on. So summertime, I use sort of outdoorsy pant, like these are the Moscow Woodsman. They don't have any protection built in, except for abrasion resistance. So this is normally what I use in summer. I don't mind getting a little wet because riding, when the sun comes out, dries the pants pretty quick. Non-water resistant pants, you can wear them on and off the bike and just be comfortable. And if it's going to rain for days, you bring a pair of rain pants. But I only put these on if I know it's going to be rain all day and so on, because stopping and putting these rain pants on it's a lot of work. Imagine with the boots and getting these on and so on. So normally I just go with these. But if you're going to buy one pair of really good adventure pants, do it all, you can go for fully waterproof pants to start with. No need for extra rain pants or anything. Downside is if you're riding in really hot areas. They do not ventilate, regardless of brand or model you use. Waterproof all-weather pant will not keep you cool. And there's also another thing to consider. These are enduro in the boot styles. I'll show you. These pants are made for biking. And biking's what they'll do. So these pants are in the boot pants, and they're made to go inside the boots like this. And that's really comfy off the bike, because you take the boots off, put on whatever other pair of shoes you're going to use, and you don't have like 70s bell bottoms flapping around. So they act more like normal pants when the boots are off. Downside is riding in rain, because regardless of waterproof boots or not, rain hits your knees and it goes down inside the boot, even if you go through puddles and stuff like that. So great comfort, perfect off the bike. Some downsides when it comes to staying dry and keeping your feet dry, actually. While any pant that goes over the boot will of course only expose the foot part of the boot. So let's talk boots. We have the MX style boots. They're made for going really hard off-road enduro, and it will give you the most protection of your feet. And your feet are really exposed for injuries. Going off-road, perhaps you're paddling with your feet, get stuck in a root or hit a stone or whatever. You fall with your bike, you get the bike over your feet. So they are really prone to get injured. And these adventure style boots, of course, they are much more enjoyable to walk around in because they're soft and the sole is bending a lot more, while these are more like walking in ski boots. But I really like to feel protected on my feet and also up to my lower legs. And should you go waterproof or not? Waterproof boots will keep you dry, especially if you have over the boot pants. Going through puddles and walking out in a little puddle somewhere, it will keep you dry. But on an adventure, if you get wet, because you do get wet in these also, water come in from the top if you go out in water, or it's not always voluntary. I've always somehow gotten wet in my waterproof boots. Regardless. And you have these, you can ride through a big puddle and you can feel a little wet coming in. But, so of course, waterproof is nice, right? Not always. If you do get the waterproof boots wet, compared to these wet, these boots, which are not waterproof, will dry up much quicker. You will never get rid of the moisture in there, not for your entire trip anyway. So what I like to do is to have waterproof socks, or you can just have plastic kitchen bags and put your feet in and down in there. So, but like sealskins or whatever waterproof socks that you want to use. So I would recommend getting a good base armor protection that keeps the armor close to your body and you are protected using only these. A good set of boots, helmet, because that will keep the budget down a lot. I have some sort of outer wind and rainproof layer, motorcycle brand or not, doesn't matter, with the abrasion resistance underneath. I used my normal sporting goods rain jacket for quite a few years. Winter riding, I used the same stuff, just put a puffy jacket underneath. And you can use any puffy jacket. And I started off by buying enduro clothing because it's much, much cheaper because it's a sport and not adventure. You will get some more small benefits with adventure gear because it's tailored for that with storage and everything like that. But it's a good way to get started. Gloves, usually I have a pair of just normal enduro gloves somewhere, quite cheap, 20 euros, 30 euros, something like that, to use when it gets technical. Otherwise, I use a pair of sort of more motorcycle branded gloves. These are the Nox something, says it down here. Enjoyed them very much. Cool in summer. Yeah, it's working very well. Helmet. Get any helmet you like. It's not much to talk about really. Just get a good helmet. This is the Climb Cryos Pro. It's getting worn out after 4 years, a lot of travels. So I'm getting something else. Not sure I can afford the same helmet again. They're quite expensive now. But yeah, we'll see. Just get a good helmet that fits your head. So to sum things up, when you start adventure riding, focus on the protection first with helmet, gloves, because with layering you can keep your protective layer for years, and then you can renew stuff that are cheaper on the surface, instead of buying one super expensive Iron Man suit, and that's what you're stuck with until you change a few years ahead. And these videos are not to make you buy the stuff that I have. I'm showing you what I have so you can pick the cherries and decide not what to do, perhaps. So yeah, next time we'll have a look at luggage and camping equipment. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao.